Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Twin Peaks Season 1, Episode 4. Yes, I'm reacting to Twin Peaks now, and that's so great. If you guys, you want to see my previous reaction videos about Twin Peaks, I'm gonna put the link for the playlist that I made for it, and you're gonna have all of my reaction videos about this show into the chronological order, and also each part of the video for YouTube into the chronological order, so you don't have to search for them, you know, on YouTube and all. You're gonna have everything right there on the playlist. I'm glad to be there for a new episode of Twin Peaks. To be fully honest with you, fully transparent, because by talking like that I can see that I'm not gonna be able to hide it. The mood is like that today, you know, like I'm not into the usual excited mood to discover one new episode, even if I'm excited and I'm impatient to discover this episode because Cooper said that that's it, he discovered who is the murderer. And you know what I think about that? The fact that it was into a dream that Laura, she told him who was the true murderer. I think that it was his subconscient, you know, talking to him, telling him during the day you saw all of that, you didn't connect the dots, but I'm gonna connect everything for you, and the murderer, it's that person. So I'm like, okay, maybe he really understood who is the serial killer, and I'm really like, how and who. I have some suspects, but I don't know. So see, I'm invested into the story, I'm making theories and all, so I'm excited to discover this episode, but the mood is like that. And I know myself, when the mood is like that, it's gonna be like, if one little thing bad is happening during this episode, I can get mad really easily, I can get sad really easily, really quickly, I can swear in French really quickly also. I'm not gonna be patient today. Today, I'm not gonna be patient at all, I'm not gonna joke with anyone. No diplomat way to say stuff, you know, and all of that. No, no, it's not for today. It's like that, you won't. Also, normally tomorrow you're gonna discover my first reaction video about Twin Peaks on Patreon and on YouTube. Normally on YouTube, it's gonna function, you know, like it didn't get blocked, you're gonna have it. I had to play a little with opacity for some little moments, I'm sorry for that, but it's like that. So ready for what I'm gonna do for Twin Peaks on Patreon. You're gonna have these reaction videos earlier. For now, earlier during the day, maybe with time, I'm gonna have like 1 week of advance. I have to work on it. For now, it's really hours earlier that you can have it. You have it with a bigger reaction part, really longer, and you have it with full opacity for everything in just one video and without any ads. So if you can be interested to support me, to encourage me to continue to, you know, to watch Twin Peaks, to make reaction videos and all, and to have these advantages, you have my Patreon for that. You have the link, you know, on the description, and you just have to subscribe to the level 2. The level 2 is gonna be enough for Twin Peaks. Level 2, it's €5 for the entire month. You're gonna have all of the videos of the month and all of the videos that I posted before that. So if you can be interested, you can subscribe, even if it's just for 1 month. Just the level 2, it's enough for Twin Peaks. I'm impatient to discover this new episode because I want to know, who do you think the serial killer is? Do I trust Cooper, you know, to discover him on her just like that? Before, you know, before I would have told you yes, because Cooper had a lot of good instincts, you know, about people, about how he was feeling about them, and about also really people, how they are connected to each other. So I was like, okay, yes. But the end of the last episode really surprised me with that dream. The part with Laura, I talked about it, I really think that it's his subconscient who told him, okay, you saw a lot of things today, let me connect the dots for you, the serial killer is that person. But just before that, the first part of the dream, to have that Mike and Bob talking directly to him, it felt like a memory. And I'm like, what? You have a memory with these two guys who seem like bad people, like maybe killers. That guy, Bob, we saw him already before into that vision, memory that Sarah, Laura's mother, she had, and she was afraid of that person. So are you involved into all of that, Cooper? Is there something right there? You know, or maybe as an FBI agent, it's people that you knew, killers that you knew before, and in fact you're going to discover that they are around and you're going to recognize them, how they are doing stuff. I don't know. I'm wondering about that situation, really, that memory. How can you have these memories about these two people intervening right now for this case, and you know that Bob, that Sarah knows also? I'm a little suspicious. You know my favorite suspects. For now, I have the psychiatrist that I have really trouble to trust since we met him. The fact that he was touching himself like that, talking about Laura, I found it suspicious. And after that, we discovered that she was making tapes to him, and really intimate tapes, you know, what she was saying to him. It was like, I wish that I would have knew you before. She was insulting James, you know, of being dumb during these tapes, when James was supposed to be her lover, someone that she truly appreciated. And I don't know, I felt that the connection between them was more than a medical one, like it was weird, so I'm still suspicious about him. Even if we saw that he was crying, maybe because he was listening to her and she told her something sad, maybe because he was looking at that necklace and he thought of her, maybe because he was jealous about the fact that she was in love with James, you know, for the necklace, or maybe because he killed her. That's my suspicion for now. I'm suspecting also Bob, for sure, and I'm suspecting the guy who is coming out of the elevator. 2 times we had someone coming out of the elevator. When they met the psychiatrist, Cooper and Truman, someone was just before them, you know, and I don't know, I had a weird vibe about that person. And I think that it's the same person that we saw after that, you know, Ox, he tried to follow but couldn't follow him, you know, to the morgue, that moment. So I'm suspicious about that. These people, and for sure I have other theories going on, like the fact that for me, Ronette and Laura, they were working at that prostitution house, and maybe that's how Laura, she had all of this money, maybe that's how they met also, these two, and they became friends. You know, that's why she had that magazine, Laura, about Ronette. So I have that suspicion. I think that's why also Benjamin, it's Benjamin? Benjamin is the uncle, or it's Audrey's dad? No, I think that it's Audrey's dad. Audrey's dad, the fact that he was that close to Laura, he was talking about her like that, I'm like, maybe, you know, it's because of that, because they were visitors of that prostitution house, so maybe they knew Laura biblically, you know, like maybe I have other theories like that, like I can't remember all of them. Wait, I'm searching for the most important ones. I'm really visiting all of the different places with all of the different characters to try to remember all of my theories. Like, you know, we have the police station with Truman, with all of them. Do I have suspicions about them? No. We have the meal with Josie, with Pete and Catherine. Catherine who is cheating on her husband, Josie who is with Truman. Oh yes, I have that theory about the fact that what Laura said to Josie about the fact that she understood what it means to lose someone that you love that much. For Josie it was her husband. I think that maybe Laura lost someone, you know, someone who died, who disappeared, who left her, and that's why maybe she came back into drugs, or she began to take drugs, cocaine, that's what they said. Now we know that it was Leo who was selling this cocaine to Laura, to Bobby and Mike Jr., I think. Okay, for that theory. I'm sorry, I thought about Nadine. And for sure it made me lost. But I don't have any theory about her and Ed. We have Norma and Ox. We have Donna and James. We have the Doctor and Aileen. I have little theories, you know, about their relationships between each other and all. But about the case Laura Palmer, is it really all? You know, for the theories that I have about that case? I have a lot of questions for sure. For example, I'm still wondering about that other murder case which was looking like this one with the letter, you know, into the nail. Who was that victim truly? What was the letter that you found into her nail? Like, what is truly going on with that situation, and how these two cases can be related if it's really not at the same place and it's with really different people and all, meaning that in fact none of the people from this town is responsible, you know, killed Laura, but at the same time the fact that they all knew her and in fact she was really connected with all of them a lot, it's making me think that maybe it's truly one of them who did it. So I don't know. And like the fact that I'm not sure that what happened to Ronette is really related to what happened to Laura. They said so, but they never said that truly they found their DNAs at the train station. Did they say that at some point? Maybe they said it, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it. But how can it be, you know, that they didn't suffer the same thing? I don't know. Why suddenly the serial killer decided to not kill Ronette, to not put that thing into her nail? For what reason? He would really accept to release her just like that? Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now. Let's go for this episode. Like I told you, if you want to have my Patreon on which you can have these reaction videos earlier, you can have a longer reaction part without playing with opacity, with a really longer version and with only one video without any ads, and it's the best way to support me. That's why I'm giving you these advantages, you know, on my Patreon, to thank you to subscribe to my Patreon and for you guys to have one place where you can find really everything that I wanted to share with you at first. So if you want and if you can, it's on my Patreon. Only the level 2, it's enough. Only €5, it's enough. Okay, let's go for this episode. Let's go to discover who killed Laura Palmer. Audrey. The guy is an adult, you're supposed to be a teenager normally. Like I said sooner, you know, with previous videos, the system in US and in France it's not the same, so I don't know what her age is truly.
Just 18, would you care to join me for breakfast?
She's flirting and you're accepting it, clearly.
That perfume you're wearing is incredible.
He's not just accepting it, he's encouraging it.
You slipped this note underneath my door at Corlats.
I did?
Uh-huh.
I wanted to help you. For Laura.
It's a casino, they said?
Laura wants
That
to
place?
act
I
friends.
don't
We're
remember.
not friends, but I understood her better than the rest.
Please, One-Eyed Jacks.
It's a place up north. Men go there.
Ah, the prostitution house.
Women, you know, work there.
Did Laura work there?
I think so, with Ronette.
Laura worked at my father's department store.
Horns.
He named it after himself.
Where at Horns department store?
I think that he's hiring people from that department store.
So we brought up asking.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Judy, 2 more coffees, please. Carrie? tell you about the dream I had last night?
We saw it.
No. You were there. Lucy, so were you.
No.
Harry, my dream is a code waiting to be broken.
Oh, that one not there, you're lying.
In my dream,
Love you.
Sarah Palmer has a vision of her daughter's killer. I got a phone call from a one-armed man named Mike. The killer's name was Bob. Mike and Bobby? No, it's a different Mike and a different Bob. They had a tattoo. Fire. Walk with me. Mike couldn't stand the killing anymore, so he cut off his arm.
Eh?
Bob.
That's not the dream that we saw you having. You had another one after that we didn't see. That's detailed with all of these premonitions, like, come on.
So what was the end of this dream? Suddenly it was 25 years later. I was old, sitting in a red room. Laura kissed me and she whispered the name of the killer in my ear. Who was it? I don't remember.
No! So it was not memories, the first part of the dream, it was just moments of that premonition that we didn't see. It's not going with my theories because he didn't connect the dots about stuff that he learned during the day. No, he saw suddenly new stuff.
Dr. Hayward, I have traveled thousands of miles and apparently several centuries to this forgotten sinkhole in order to perform a series of tests. Now, I do not ask you to understand these tests. I just ask you to get the hell out of my way so that I can finish my work. Is that clear? To conduct Laura Palmer's body to the cemetery. If you think for 1 minute we're going to leave here without her, you're an idiot!
Okay, it's his funeral day,
Rosenfeld, please.
but if you have to make this test...
Leland Palmer couldn't be with us today, but I know I speak for everyone. The Palmer family included must insist that we consider the feelings of the Palmer family as well.
I understand that you're protecting the family, Laura, more than that?
I must perform them now. I've got a lot of cutting and pasting to do, gentlemen, so please, why don't you return to your porch rockers and resume whittling? I'm just in charge of the body, and you don't touch Laura from this moment on. To hell with you.
Oh, doctor, I trust you.
What's going on?
Doctors, you're the only one that I don't find suspicious and that I find really nice without anything bad to say about you.
Do not suffer fools gladly and fools with badges never. I want no interference from this hulking brute. Is that clear? I've had just about enough of your insults.
Uh-oh.
Well, I've had about enough of morons and half-wits, dolts, dunces, dullards, and dumbbells. And you, chowderhead yokel, you blithering hasty.
Oh.
Oh, that's nice. How appropriate.
Not at all.
The sheriff didn't mean anything. He hit me. Well, I'm sure he meant to do that. Albert, I want you to release this girl's body to her family immediately.
Uncle Leland.
Ah, we have a new character.
Madeline?
A cousin? Maddie?
I am so sorry.
Will you help find the job that I need to effect a successful parole?
Yes.
How exactly?
I own the double R, Mr. Mooney.
You're quite a girl, Noma. I'll bet you get all kinds of Romeos in here.
She has one, at
How do you
least.
keep them from me?
I usually tell him I have a homicidal and jealous husband who's doing 3 to 5 for manslaughter.
Ah!
That should conclude our session for today, Mr.
And that should stop you from trying to flirt with her.
Look at that. Agent Cooper. There's no sign of the man with one arm. Keep trying. He's out there somewhere. When you can find him, how can Tracker? The best. Okay, Albert, what do you got? Forensic spade work to save your butt getting run out of this godforsaken burial.
Let's hear that.
What do you got? First of all, contents of envelope found in Palmer diary, cocaine. Toxicology results also positive. News flash, the little lady had a habit. There was a twine found in the railroad car. I matched the sample from her wrist. The same twine was used to bind the wrists of the Pulaski girl. She was tied up twice at different locations on the night of her death. Once here, and once here. Like this. Soap, industrial strength. I found identical particles on the back of Laura's neck. It's not her home use brand. The killer washed his hands and then leaned in for a kiss. Like this.
Ah.
Distinctive wounds found on Laura's neck and shoulder appear to be claw marks.
Claw?
It's trying to think. A small plastic fragment from her stomach, partially dissolved by digestive acids. I note with some interest what appears to be the letter J.
Oh.
There's one more item. It's a report concerning the physical assault on my person which you witnessed this morning. I think you'll find it's quite accurate. Requires your signature.
Sorry, I'm not going to sign this.
What?
I have only been in Twin Peaks a short time, but in that time I have seen decency, honor, and dignity.
You're falling in love with the town, really? That's what I witnessed.
Laura Palmer's death has affected each and every man, woman, and child because life has meaning here, every life. That's a way of living I thought had vanished from the...
Sounds like you've been snacking on some of the local mushrooms.
I love Albert.
Consider yourself lucky. I do not file a report of my...
Oh, I hope that we're gonna see you again at some point, Albert.
It's 12:27 p.m.
Oh, and I want to see Diane.
I'd like you to look into my pension plan options regarding outside real estate investment. I may look into purchasing a piece of property at what I assume will be a very reasonable price.
In Twin Peaks?
Well, you look fine, Nadine.
Last night was wonderful.
Oh.
I used to watch Norma, you, in those football games.
Okay, everyone knows each other since that long.
You made such a handsome couple.
And they worked together at that time.
I always knew inside. Once you got to know me, we'd be together forever.
I would be interested to see all of what happened, you know, for everyone to finish like that.
We don't want to be late. Are you ready? I'm not going.
James.
It's Laura, James. I just can't. James!
I can understand. And also to face Bobby and the other ones during this funeral. Ah, that's how you're listening to conversations. I suspected that she did it when her uncle and her dad were talking together. It's a psychiatrist, you know. Good job, Johnny. Good job.
Alright, let's everyone just get into the car.
I'm really not sure of that psychiatrist, like,